Internet fame can lead you to many places, like Hollywood, Joe Rogan podcasts, or even just leaving your job. So how does one know if the success they have is long-lasting, or if it was just a spontaneous, one-time thing? Well, for Mike Salcedo and his series Alphabet Lore, it's a bit more complicated than one might think. Reaching over 88 million views on a single video and getting tons of nice fan art, we dive into the story to learn more. Hello, I'm Daphina, and this is Alphabet Lore, Twitter Sexy Man. But before we get into the alphabets, we must get into the lore of Mike, you see.
Eye exam? There's no exam I can't cheat on.
Mike Salcedo is a 31-year-old artist from Fort Worth, Texas. In his early childhood, he created a character called Delfrig back in the 5th grade as some sort of dog version of Garfield. It was successful, or as much as it could be way back in his younger years, selling them for about 50 cents each.
So I started something called Delfrig Company, so I would just do a bunch of comic strips and stuff. And all the characters that I made were under the umbrella of Delfrig Company, so I'd sell comics for 50 cents, something like that.
Do you still have any of these?
Oh yeah, no, I actually need to get a fire safe. I got all my comics in a big box.
Man, summer 2002 was such a different time. So different that Delfrig even had his own GeoCities website, one that I cannot show on screen right now because it wasn't archived. This led him to later create his Newgrounds account April 15, 2013, with the same name Delfrig. While attending Texas Tech for 2 years, he lived in Lubbock, Texas, looking for remote work at the time. He applied and got an internship at ARG Animation, staying there between June 2011 and June 2012. After that, he came to Dallas, attending ETD, taking their last animation program ever. While attending the school, he's creating some of his own animations on his YouTube channel, such as The Adventures of Cedric and Trevor. Being a fan of the website Spill.com and their reviews, made some animations that they sometimes aired on the show. After leaving ARG, he applied at Cyanide and Happiness, also known as Explosum, in June 2013. Man, there's a lot of June stuff for this guy, I guess. The website's creators, Dave Minkle-Fatrick, Chris Wilson, and Rob DeBliker, have been working on a preview for Ultra Soldier, to which Mike pitched an alternate joke for.
Gave them I basically pitched them like an idea for an alternate joke that they could use instead of what was already in there. And I drove home like, that was so stupid. Why did you say that? And later on, they told me that was pretty much the moment. They're like, yeah, that's when you get the job. Because you could come up with your own thing. And it was funny. So yeah, I think that was basically, they did tell me I was not as experienced as some of the other applicants, but it was just that sort of collaborative, like comedic element that landed me that job.
Being a Newgrounds person actually helped him in the animation pie by knowing all the ins and outs of the ingredients to make an animation, I guess. As at CNH, he was a character designer, animation director, animatic artist, background artist, and a whole lot of everything else, too. CNH was founded in 2005 as a comic that later turned to YouTube to create animations around 2009. The first season was funded on Kickstarter, and the concept became so popular that CISO, a now-defunct subsidiary of NBC Universal, funded one whole season of the CNH show, until it later moved to Verve. Verve would produce 2 more seasons, then would later close as well. It is of note, as Mike had worked on the show, such as season 4, and even attended the airing at a local Alamo draft house. I was actually there too. However, I don't remember if I talked to him or not. This will haunt me forever. Anyway, for his other contributions to CNH, you may recognize some of the beloved characters he made, like Shark Dad, Senior Clean Fist, Mr. Silly, and even Half Off Oscar. Also, these other characters he gave me a list of. He would later get figurines of some of the characters, as you can see on screen right now. Whoa, 3D! Being with the channel since 2013, he had seen it reach to 1 million, then even 10 million subscribers. Though he didn't work on the spin-off show Purgatoni, the company was approached by Octopi to make a show. So Mike pitched an idea called The Stockholms, which stars a family in a sitcom that revolves around a never-ending hostage situation.
Just had kind of a status to it. They said, hey, we would like, if you guys have a show, we'll go half and half and develop it with you on the budget. And so they just came to me and said, do you have any ideas? And I said, yes, here are a few. Stockholms was actually the least ambitious idea I had. It was a kind of a concept for a webcomic, and it was too weird to be like a 4-panel thing. So I said, maybe this will work as a show, because the joke is like, what if a never-ending hostage situation was a sitcom?
You're the best, Dad.
Not your dad. How much do I owe you?
That'll be $30.
All right, here's 10, 20, 30. And 2 hostages. Oh, Ned.
In fact, Corey Martin of Spill.com played 2 of the policemen in the series. Now that's a fun fact. Well, I had fun, I guess. Lastly, during his time at CNH, he created a website called Bigfoot Justice of his high school friend Chase Hattersley. Though the series ended July 9th, 2021, he had animated some of his comics, which later got posted onto his YouTube channel. However, this was all building up to his masterpiece animation series. He did the impossible and made it happen despite the initial time crunch, but needless to say, it was quite worth it. What was that idea, you might ask? He made letters of the English alphabet have lore.
This video is brought to you by Neat Microphones, starring the Neat King B2. The company started by former engineers and creatives from Blue. They bring their audio wisdom to this fresh line of B3 microphones. The King B2 is a cardioid condenser XLR microphone perfect for voice acting, streaming, and even podcasts, to which I used to record myself on the Pizza Party podcast as well as the audio you're listening to for this ad read. Nice. With a frequency response between 16 Hz and 20 kHz, and a nearly flat sound profile, it perfectly captures your natural voice with room to edit and post. You can buy this and or their other wonderful products on their website, BHO Video, and even Amazon.com. Now back to the video.
By the end of 2021, Mike was getting creatively bored and wanted to try something new. So starting February 2nd, after working his explosive job, he'd work from 7 p.m. to midnight on these shorts, the alphabet lore shorts that I mentioned before. Of course. February 1st, the letter A was up in black and white, until he later decided to color them in. Originally, there was no direct ending planned, as it started off with the letters just saying their name, as if a Pokemon would say their name. Later on, he wanted to have something a bit more interesting going on, so he needed a bad guy. Choosing the letter F, Mike thought about what evil thing he could spell. Fuck was too obvious, so perhaps F wanted to spell friend instead. It wasn't until February 4th, when he created his D short, did he make a Google Doc writing down what he wanted to happen within the story. An internal battle that was raging in his heart and soul was trying to make stuff that people wouldn't really guess, only for them to actually guess it, with him tweaking stuff here and there to still have surprises.
You know, it's like I felt like it was a very predictable thing he was trying to do. So I said, okay, well, maybe I can throw people off the trail, because 26 parts is really awkward pacing wise to have 26 parts of anything. So there's like all these there's arcs and characters come in and out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of opportunities to distract from that he's describing Friends.
And there wasn't a particular main character until N came in the picture. But despite the slow-growing success, this was the first time he truly been burnt out on the project. Originally, he wanted 28 shorts in 28 days, so drawing these daily for 21 days, 3 weeks total, it was S that broke him. There wasn't anything in particular within that caused this, but he felt terrible about not being able to work on it. Despite S only taking 2 days, he still felt like a failure.
For some reason, S was the one that broke me, which is not even super complicated. It was just I hit a brick wall, and it was just a terrible day. I think it was like a Saturday or a Sunday, and I just couldn't do it that day, and the whole day I just felt terrible. I decided okay, this is gonna come out tomorrow, and that one took 2 days. It was really weird. It felt like a big failure. It sort of let me know that it's okay to kind of take your foot off the gas. I realized I was kind of doing the daily thing only for myself. I don't think it really matters when it's all done how quickly you cranked it out. If anything, it might be hurting the quality of it.
He would soon scrap this unneeded pressure and took his time with the following installments. And though the shorts are compiled onto YouTube, I think the true way to experience the series is to watch them on Twitter. Scrolling on your phone after each one. This would be as close as one could get to recreating the time between, only in the sense that you have to work a bit. See the story? Scrolling down? You get what I mean. Starting February 2022 and ending in October 2022, it was quite the journey waiting for each one to release, seeing snippets of lore being pieced together over time. I was hooked early on in the series and even contacted Mike on Twitter March 14th, 2022. I knew that something about this was going to be the next big thing, though I really don't know what the big thing would be, nor if it was directly next to said thing, and last but not least, if it even was a the. Regardless, I knew I was going to have to... Regardless, I knew when this completed, I would have to make a video about it, which you're seeing right now. While it was slow at first, Mike would gain more and more subscribers around August, and in September, gained over 200,000 subscribers per month. Whew, if that was not impressive enough, he also gets an average of 1 million views per day. The success isn't just measured in numbers, but also if people copy and mooch off of your works. I'm talking Among Us playthroughs. I'm talking about people overanalyzing the lore, parodies being made, Minecraft lore being made, and who can forget the videos in which the thumbnails are clearly targeted towards dumb babies who will never learn how to read. Sad. But that's on the YouTube side. We gotta take a look at Twitter now, as that's where the fan art is at. Everything from parents showing off their kids' Lego creation to super muscular, sexy art of these letters.
I mean, that was the moment I knew that it was something special, because I think if people want to, I don't know, if people want to have sex with your characters, I think you're on a good path. You're doing something right.
I don't know how the hell you did that with letters, but you did it.
I would have never guessed. No, that was really cool to see those come out. It kind of felt like I don't know, it didn't feel real.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bizarre because it was if you look at all my TikTok shorts before that, I would have my little watermark on them for the alphabet. I just deliberately didn't put my name on it because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be proud of whatever this is. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Yeah, and now people simp for F.
Though he gained a lot of followers in a short amount of time, the success mainly translated to YouTube rather than Twitter, all thanks to the compilation he made of his entire series on the platform. Posted August 19th and October 22nd respectively, these videos brought him to the algorithm spotlight. However, with all the success, one must think what to do with it. Mike had been wondering while working on these indie projects if it was finally time to move on and try something new. Just like how I'm showing my cats a new place in this video. Oh look, there they are. When given the path to success, it's hard to choose if you should stay your lane, or if you should venture forth into something new. The situation would be most comparable to someone like Kevin Temmer, someone whom I interviewed as well, but to have it too long didn't read, they should watch it after you watch this video. We have two online creators who have found ways to not only fulfill their creative needs, but both found respective fame with them. However, the difference lies in execution, as Kevin wants to continue his industry work, while Mike wants to go on his own. Is either choice the objectively correct one? No, that's not how this works at all, so please stop drawing for a second to look at the screen so I can tell you visually. Now, for Kevin working his 9-to-5 job, he has possible health benefits and secure income. For Mike, he has more time for creative freedom and is able to make his own hours. But on the more negative side, Kevin has deadlines to meet that hinders time potentially spent on online works. As for Mike, there's not a guarantee of the amount of money you can and will make on the platform. And of course, there is the need to constantly upload to appeal to the algorithm. It is a rare occurrence that someone's animated work can get this big in such a speedy manner. Though personally, it seems to have been a long time coming, as working on CNH as well as Bigfoot Justice, it gave him an eye creating banner animations to be consumed by the internet. In fact, with the success of Alphabet Lore, fans of it went back and watched some of his older works, thus causing them to spike in views. Getting attached, Mike reached over 850,000 subscribers. Wow, with 1 million seemingly not far away. If these things didn't line up in the way that they did, Mike more than likely couldn't, or fair to say shouldn't, be pursuing an indie route. Much like Has Been Hotel being a hit, there can always be a different path. For Has Been, perhaps if the pilot wasn't well received or didn't get views, Vivian be working at an animation studio as just a regular person. For Mike, he'd still be working at Explosum, or maybe another company, I guess. If that had been the case, does this negate the possibility of future success? No, it doesn't. As for making stuff online, if you feel your own need of creative fulfillment, people will follow, and you wouldn't have known unless you tried. Going further, I encourage everyone to try their hand at comics and or short animations, as it is a good way to continue learning and shaping your craft. Not everything you make will be a banger or well received, but to try and move forward is something you should strive for. To pick yourself back up and go it again. You know what I mean? Despite the massive success Alphabet Lore has gotten, there are more diverted paths than Mike will run into. He could be on the routes of Vivian Madrano to make a name for himself in the online indie space. Maybe this is just a one-time thing and his success will slowly die out, or perhaps he'll have modest success, able to create what he wants, but not make a lot of money. While it is nice for people to enjoy your works, it's always better to have a consistent fan base rather than a lot of sporadic people. To have an audience watch you for you, and not because of a hyper-specific topic or singular video, is much more preferable. I have seen people with low subs spike in views for one singular video, but either because the content is either singular in nature, not consistent, the views do not translate to subscribers, which if you're liking this video now, then please subscribe. So to look at his older animations that hover around 50k to 70k, should these be seen as a failure? If your intention was to only get views, then yes, but why'd you come into animation if you want free views? Just do pranks or challenges or crypto scams to get the money. That or just donate a lot of money like Mr. Beast. But unnoted views, a lot of these animations are only 10 seconds long, so if they're posted on shorts rather than the mainline YouTube, well, it would probably fare a lot better because the main platform prioritizes longer form content. More ads in the video. See. In any case, 2023 is the year for Mike to test out the indie route and see if he can fare well on his own. Like a duck learning to fly, can he go solo, or does he need more time back in the nest to try again another time? The nest being having a 9-to-5 job and flying solo would be posting to his channel, just to be clear. Personally, I'm rooting for Mike and I wish him the best of luck for him. As with any indie animator, I'm always happy to see more original works, such as the likes of Meat Canyon, Duber Scoobus, or my good friend Jake Neutron. To see creators find success with original ideas is inspiring, and always lovely to see. Not only that, but it is to be understood that success may just take time, if at all. If you aim to make yourself laugh first, then the audience will find you, encourage you to make more of what you love. For the time being, Mike has his sights set on more alphabet lore and general animations. As for advice for creators, Mike had this to say.
Yeah, best advice, I've heard it 1,000 times, but I think it's because it's really good advice, is just start making stuff. I started making cartoons last summer because I was just so tired of not making stuff. There was always stuff that I wanted to make, but I never knew exactly what to do or what I should start on. And I said, okay, whatever, just alphabet. Just I'm going to start doing something and I'm not going to stop doing it. And that's the other thing. Rob Denblaker gave me this advice when I started doing the Bigfoot Justice webcomic, is consistency. If you take a break, take breaks for your mental health, but if you stop doing what you're doing, the internet assumes you're dead and they move on. Just sort of keep a schedule, whatever it is. If you're going to take a break, come back and then keep going, because there's so many opportunities, The alphabet did not explode until the very end, until after the very end. It wasn't, I think Z had come out and people weren't simping for F yet. Yeah, just consistency and just, even if it sucks, just make something.
Success can lead you to many places, and it's your choice whether or not to take the leap forward to try something new. While it can be scary to venture off into the unknown, if you have a supportive fan base willing to encourage your creative endeavors, then the trek will be fared easier than you can ever imagine. Do you stay at your job, or do you quit? For Mike, while it took some thought, chose the latter, or in this case letter, and currently, he's not looking back. Special thank you to Mike Salcedo for letting me interview him, and a special alert thank you to my patrons you can see on the screen right now. You can join my Patreon, follow me on Twitter, listen to the Pizza Party podcast, and join the Discord. Until next time, thank you for watching, and please, don't forget to have fantastic.